everybody, it's Donna and welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something. Do you have any vacations planned for this year? Maybe a staycation at home, or maybe you're going to be going away? Well, I want to show you a very minimal makeup look that you can use while you're on vacation. Minimal products, minimal product, minimal time involved in putting your makeup on. So if you're interested in this type of thing, stay with me because we're going to start right now. Good morning, everybody. We're going to do that travel makeup video now, which I've been looking forward to doing since I have a vacation coming up. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do and exactly how I keep my pieces of product down to a minimum that I'm carrying with me. And also give you a little bit of advice along the way, such as take products that you love. You know, a lot of people save those little samples and trial sizes and minis and things like that that we get for free when we buy something at the department store or whatever, and we take those on vacation. And then what happens is we get on vacation and we look in the mirror at ourselves and we're trying to get fixed up for whatever we're doing, and we don't feel like we look good. And that's because we are not using our regular products that we love. So if you want to take minis, if you want to take small sizes, make sure they are of the products that you love and you like to use. For example, I am going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Legendary Brows because it's not a mini, it's the full size, but it's not big. I'm going to take this with me because I like the way this makes my brows look. And if I use anything else on my brows when I'm on vacation, I will not be happy with the way they look. Okay, I'm going to move on to foundation. I'm going to be taking my Chanel Le Beige foundation with me, and this is the one that is the Healthy Glow foundation, and this has an SPF of 25 in it, which is always good when you're on vacation because the sun's going to be different, everything's going to be different as far as your environment. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on with my fingers rather than with a brush because I don't want to take a foundation brush, and I want to keep things light and simple. So let's get this on. I'm going to turn and look into a mirror while I do this. This foundation really is pretty and you don't need a whole lot of it. So I'm going to move on now to my Jeffree Star Concealer, which I honestly am in love with. A lot of people are talking about how much product you actually get in this tube, and honestly, I do not care. It is such a great concealer. It works really well for me, so I will continue buying it at $22 per tube. I think it's well worth it. So let's do a little concealer. A little dot here, 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 and here, and here, and here. There, see, I just did little bits. 3 dots under each eye, because remember it is going to be blending into my foundation, and I'm going to use my fingers for this also. So we're just going to pat this in. I like to do both sides at the same time when I use my fingers, whether it's a concealer or a foundation or a cream blush, which I don't use very often, but when I do, I like to use both fingers, because if you do it this way, then you know both sides are going to look the same, and that's really, really important, rather than doing this and then doing this and then having to fix it because it doesn't look the same. Perfect concealer, and I didn't use a whole lot of it either, so that's great. So I'm going now to use my Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. Now this is important to me. It may not be important to you. It's an eyeshadow base. So I'm going to use my fingers. Normally I use a brush, but let's just do this, put a little bit on top. The reason I am taking this with me instead of skipping this step is because I'm going someplace where it's going to be warm. And if my eyeshadows are going to crease, it's going to be there. So the Painterly Paint Pot really does keep your eyeshadow from creasing and makes it stay on. So this is going to be a good thing for me to have with me, and it's tiny, so I don't have to worry about taking up a lot of space. Wow, this is good. I should do my makeup like this every day. Just gonna take a little bit of powder. I'm using the Chanel powder. This is the powder foundation, which I will use with a brush. I don't want to use it with a sponge because it tends to pick up too much product and can look a little cakey. But I do like the product. I like the color that I have here. So let's put this on real quick. Just a little. Keep me from getting shiny. Forehead a little. Also, I can take a tiny bit of this and set my under eye teeny little bit, which I normally would do with a loose setting powder, but because I'm trying to minimize the products I'm taking, I want to multitask everything, so this is going to be used for that as well. So I'm going to keep this open, and I may reach into it again. Now for my eyeliner, let me see, I'm going to take my Milani eyeliner that I found, my favorite eyeliner pencil, second only to my Marc Jacobs, but I'm going to take this one with me. Don't know why, I just am. And then let me get this on and I'll be right back. Okay, my eyeliner is on the way I always do it. The only thing that changed is while I was off camera, just getting ready to put that Milani eyeliner on, which I really do love, I made a decision to switch back to my Marc Jacobs Rococo liner. It's exactly the same color on my skin, but the Marc Jacobs is waterproof, and I want to use this one because I think it's going to stay in place better during the day. So same color, different product, so that worked out well. So okay, so that is on the way I do when I'm home, when I'm getting ready for even the most fancy event, like I ever do that. Everywhere I go, I wear my eyeliner exactly the same, whether I'm on vacation or not. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go into this gorgeous, this is a from Charlotte Tilbury, Film Star Bronze and Glow. Now there's two shades, there's a dark and a light. I use the light one because my skin is so light. But this is also going to be my eyeshadow for this trip. I just made that decision. So I'm going to take an eyeshadow brush with me, just one. And it's going to be my Fenty brush, but it's her concealer brush that has that odd shape to it. It's like short on one end and long on the other, because I can use this for all of my eyeshadows. So let's dip into here and get my eyeshadow on. I'm going to start with my crease, just do a little transition color of the bronzer, the darker color, and bring it right down onto my lid. So I'm not doing a whole lot of shadow. We're going natural because we're on vacation. Same thing on this side. I'm going to start in the crease and work my way down. Sorry about my voice. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should start singing in the morning before I start filming to get my voice a little bit more woken up. Okay. And once again, like I always say, if I cover too much of my liner, so what? I can always go back and add a little bit more if I need it. But remember, this is vacation makeup. I may not even care about that. Just having a little bit of liner might be enough, but we'll see. Okay, so I have a little bit of a color on my lid, so you can see that it's pretty. I'm going to go to the lighter color, which actually is her highlighter, and this is going to go up on my brow. So I'm going to put this up here, and I'm also going to bring it down to the crease to blend that top edge of the crease. Okay, now if I want to add a little bit more of the dark one, I can on the lid, just to add a little bit more intensity if I want. I also could wet the brush if I wanted to, and get a little bit more intensity that way, but I think I kind of like it light for vacation, right? So next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take a pencil brush. I will bring this with me, I think, unless I find some better idea, and I'm going to just sweep this over the lower liner just to soften it a little bit, because I don't want to really, I have to have the liner on my eyes. You know, I'm such an eyeliner person, or I feel like I have no eyes. So, but I do want it to be a little softer for this vacation. So there we go. So just soften that down a little bit, soften the top down. This is pretty. Now there's no reason I couldn't wear this kind of makeup every day, except that I'm an eye makeup whore. Basically, I have to have everything I have on. So this is a little difficult for me switching to less product, but I think I'm gonna like it. So let's set this aside for a second. We are gonna go back to it. Now for my mascara, I am taking both of my mascaras that I love. I love the MAC Extended Play mascara for the bottom because it comes off in tubes and it doesn't smear at all. And the next one is the Legendary Lashes Volume 2 from Charlotte Tilbury, because this gives me all the volume I want and I will look like I have amazing lashes regardless of how light I go with my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go off camera again and come back with my mascara on just a second. I am back and my eyes are done. It does kind of look like I have eyes. I don't look like I have crazy big eyes like I normally do with my shadow, but this is gonna be perfect for a casual vacation. One thing I did though is I went back and I added my eyeliner to the inner waterline, which I didn't do when I put the eyeliner on, because I wanted to see if it would have a bigger impact, and I really like that look, so I went ahead and put that on. I'll have my liner with me anyway, so that's fine. What I'm going to do now is go back and put a little bit of blush on, and what I'm going to use for blush is the darker shade of the bronzer color in here. So let's do that real quick. Let's see, I'm making a huge mess here. Okay, let's see. A little bit of blush, and it's going to be a bronzy blush, not a bright color, but that's okay. Blush here. Look good? Oh, well, here I go again. Too much blush. That's the story of me. This looks pretty good though. I like the color. So I'm going to do a little under here because remember I'm bronzing. I can still do this. I can still look a little contour while I'm away. I can slim my nose down a little bit. Then I'm going to go back. I'm going to wipe my brush off on a napkin, back with the same brush, and I'm going to squeeze the bristles tight so I can use the highlighter portion of this too, just for fun. Because I do want to look like me. Even though it's vacation, it's casual, I still want to look pulled together. And I will tell you, this is kind of funny. I timed all of this before I did this video, how long it would take me to do my makeup. It took me exactly 8 minutes from start to finish to do my makeup without all the talking. What's funny is 5 of those 8 minutes was mascara. I remember when I was very, very young, I don't even think I was 20 yet, I went to my very first Mary Kay party, which was awesome. Everything was pink and I loved that. But I remember the woman who was the consultant saying, when you're working with your customers, meaning us sitting at the table, women will take as long as you will let them putting on their mascara. So you hand them the wands, let them put their mascara on, and you tell them when to put the wands down. And I thought that was funny at the time. But now, a billion years later, I'm like, that's exactly right. If I have an hour to put mascara on, I will take an hour to put mascara on. So just one of those kind of funny things. But 8 minutes it took me to do this whole look. And let me see, my lip, what I'm gonna be wearing on my lips while I'm away, I have it sitting right here. I have a teeny of Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lipstick. So we're gonna put a little of this on. A little, like one lip. And then I'm gonna take a little of my Jouer Rose Gold lip topper. I'm gonna go one more time back through very, very lightly with my Chanel powder, just to tone down my overused blush a little bit. Maybe a little extra on my nose, just so I don't shine too much. And I am good to go, and I am ready to spend the day on vacation. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. I really, really am looking forward to it. I'm not going for a couple weeks, but I like to spend a little bit of time planning what I'm gonna wear, planning what I'm gonna take, planning the makeup that I wanna wear for the whole trip. I did choose a fragrance for my trip too, and I'm kind of excited. The bottle's a little bigger than I would like, but it's the Charlotte Tilbury Scent of a Dream fragrance, and I absolutely love it. So put a little of this on. I have all my stuff put together for my trip, and I'm super, super excited. I have to add everything up and see how many items I have, but they're all gonna fit in one small Ziploc bag because, gone are the days of beautiful makeup bags because of what we have to do when we go through security at an airport. But I made sure everything that I chose is gonna fit in a Ziploc bag. So that's kind of cool too, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that. So anyway, this is the whole vacation makeup look. Do you like it? I think it's kind of nice. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I promise I will answer them right away. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.